Okay, now we're going to move on to the second skill taught during this series, which is recoloring shapes. I'm going to recolor shapes, and I'm going to show you how to use the format painter then to apply that same coloring or recoloring to other shapes. So we're going to go back to the template that I had used on the previous step, and I have it all zoomed out so you can see the entire thing, and you can see there's several shapes throughout this infographic. So let's go ahead and recolor. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in, but first of all I want to click on the area when I want to zoom in, and this is the first area with a shape of one that I want to recolor. So click there, zoom in, and I have my teardrop that I had changed. So let's go ahead and change the color. So a shortcut to doing that is if I double click on a shape, it will bring up the design tab, or I should call it the format tab. And I'm going to go ahead and recolor this one. So I can either click here on the shape fill and choose a color. And I'm going to go with an orange because it's nice contrast to the black, and I can choose several that way. I can also go to standard colors, or I also have these options if I have the drop down, and these are shortcut ones. So if I want it to have more of a gradient color, I can click here, and this one gives it a more 3D option. This one is also gradient but not as dramatic as the one below. I have white. I have a couple different. So just personal preference, I'm going to show you this one that's called the moderate effect, and like I said, I want to go with the orange, so I'm going to click there. But the thing that you might be able to see is there is an outline now on this shape, and I don't like outlines on shapes. So what I usually do is I get rid of the outline. So if I click here, and then meaning the shape outline, and then I choose no outline. And one of the options that came with the coloring I chose is it gave it a shadow, so you can see the shadow here. So I'm going to zoom back out, and what I can do is I can now copy that coloring to other shapes. Remember, it has to be a shape. So up here at the top I have what looks like a little paintbrush, and it's called the format painter. It's also located on your home tab with format painter. So either way you get there, I can click on that then because I've selected the orange that I want to copy, and I can click on the other areas I want. But the thing is if I click then on the next one, it doesn't keep that format. So there's a shortcut to keeping that format painter on if you have several that you want to recolor. So I'm going to go ahead and click here back on my original. I could also click on this outer circle, it doesn't matter, just one that's in the color that I want. And then if I double click, remember double click on the format painter, it will stay on and recolor. So I can click all the other shapes that I want to be colored. And notice here when I'm clicking on these little people, I have, oops, that's one thing is I accidentally clicked on a text box, and what it does for that is because it's a text box, it's seeing the background as the shape and recoloring the background. So I'm going to go ahead and undo that one and just make sure I'm on the arm. And that's because these people were drawn using 4 different shapes, and in a later skill I'm going to show you how to combine shapes so that you can make this essentially one shape instead of 4 individual. So I can go ahead and do that, and I can keep going through and recoloring all my shapes. Now remember, I got rid of the outline for my format. Now if I click down here, it goes away, and the reason it goes away is because this line is drawn using a line only, not a shape that has a fill. The line is essentially the fill, and since I had chose no fill, that's why the line went away. That one, and therefore it comes back. So I can go ahead then and then just keep going through and coloring. Oops, I only want to color the blues to be that orange. And once again, remember, if I click in a text box that's not a shape, so what happens is it fills the text box as though it is a shape with that same color. So to undo that, I just simply click undo. And that is how you can color format lots at one time. However, let's say I don't want that to be on anymore because I want to go change now my text. So I simply hit the escape key on my keyboard and then it's gone away. And then what I can do is I can actually go in and color my text if I want that to be font. And that's located on the Home tab, and then I can go to the colors and I can choose one of the colors. And as a shortcut reminder to you is the top colors along here. So in the case I was using orange, this top color is the same color as that orange that was located here. And there we go. And that's how you can recolor shapes.